This is the Duronic DM351X2. And no, I haven't memorized it yet. I was reading it off the other one that I have, that I still haven't unboxed, because it's pretty much the exact same thing, or indeed definitely the exact same thing, because I've got two monitors that I want to mount on these little arms. Now, you can get dual arms and whatnot, but the interesting thing is I've got a triple display setup, as you guys can see, and the middle one I want staying on its own stand because it's a nice height adjust stand, everything's fine. I just want to get these other two up a little bit because, as you guys can see, that's meant to be the max height and there's a massive difference. So to improve my posture and my neck and my back and all that stuff, I decided to go with a couple of monitor arms. So what I'm going to do now is try out one of these arms on one of the monitors, because I've got one factor that I'm going to try and eliminate. I just really don't know how it's going to work, because I've noticed something in the past couple of days since ordering these stands. Well, I unboxed this like 2 weeks ago, but it was only sort of earlier that I noticed, or maybe yesterday, that I may have a potential problem with using these on my desk. So I'm just going to describe that problem to you guys now, and we're going to see what we can do about it. So I've turned this monitor off to avoid glare, and what I'm going to do is just crawl over here to show you guys what I think may become a little issue. Now, my desk is indeed flush to the edge of the window. This sort of, I can't even remember what you call this thing that goes down the side of the wall next to the window. There's only about a ½ inch gap between that and my desk, and then the wall is also really close to the desk here. So if I grab the bottom of the stand, by the looks of things, this is my trial right now. I don't think the stand is going to fit. No, it does not fit under there, which is quite a big shame, because what I was going to do is have one there and then have the same over here in that little spot there. So you'd get one there, and then the monitor arms themselves would be hidden behind the monitors, you know, or maybe sort of here-ish type thing. So I'm kind of thinking now I should have got the dual arm ones, so they would have been longer, so I could put them both on the back of the desk and have them stretch all the way over. But what I'm now going to have to do is sort of, if you guys can see where my microphone stand is, let me just move the monitor. I'm going to have to put it where my microphone stand is, and the same on the other side for symmetrical reasons, to see how that works out. So I'm going to clamp the pole on now and just sort of size it up to see how we go. Now, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, guys, because the monitor, because it's only a single arm stand, the monitor is actually wide enough to cover the entire stand apart from the bottom pole. So this is in approximately the correct position if I'm looking at the back of the monitor there. So what I'm going to do is leave the pole where it is, whip this part off and tighten it a little and mount it to the back of my monitor. So I haven't even opened the hardware bag that came with the monitor stand, because my Dell had 4 screws in place, which is really pretty cool actually. 4 black screws that fit perfectly, and this is going absolutely nowhere. You can pick the monitor up by this mount. So what I'm going to do is just move the camera up here a little, and we are going to pop the monitor onto the pole to see what it looks like, because I am definitely intrigued to see how this goes. So, screwing it on at just any random level for now, just to get an idea. And then, yeah, wow, let's get this a bit higher. Hang on a sec, guys, I think I've pretty much got the measurements pretty perfect. That is cool. That is really cool looking. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that looks cool, but wow, that, yeah, a little bit of fine tuning needed, but whoa. I am impressed. That was so easy to do. Wow. So guys, latest thing is I got the tape measure out so that I can measure the distance between this corner and the stand, so I could do the same this side. But unfortunately, there is a solid piece of hardboard, which is the backing of this, as you can see, down there, and the same for that shelf, and the only free space is this side. So unfortunately, the pole symmetry kind of goes downhill a bit, because you've got this one here because it's got to be, because the wall is in the way, and you've got this one here because it's got to be, because the back panel is on the way. But the good thing is, even though it's not set up perfect yet, the good thing is, let me turn this monitor off so we don't get any glare. And actually it's annoying that the button's on the side because it kind of interrupts the flow. But as you can see, the screens are pretty level. Now, we've got a bit of, they can all be kind of adjusted in a way, but there's limited movement to both of them because they're mounted at different places on the desk, which is no massive deal or anything. It just looks a bit odd. It would be really nice to have, if there's a pole there, then have a pole there as well, or if there's a pole there, then have a pole there as well. So what I may do is, I think this side is more effective. This side is better, and it would be a lot easier to cut out a hole from the hardboard back there to allow that to go in. That would be much, much easier than moving the entire desk or cutting away at the wall. So I think I'm going to go with this, and when I do all the modifications to my desk, the structure of my desk, so the extra holes that I want cut and whatnot down the bottom, and the bits and bobs for the server and the printer and stuff, when I do all that, I will probably cut a hole in the back of the hardboard to allow that monitor stand to slot in the exact right space. So it's 6 inches in exactly, or just under 6 inches. So I'll cut a hole, and then it'll look like that on that side as well. And then we'll have an easier time lining them up, because at the moment they're at totally different angles. That one is pushed up against itself, whereas this one is nice and straight. So yeah, a little bit different, but it will definitely do the trick for now. Haven't got any of the cabling or anything done, and I haven't used anything that's in these packets. I don't know what all of these screws are for or anything. So that's pretty interesting. Don't know what these little rubber things are for. Might have a look on the instructions. I'll put these plastic top caps on because that'll just finish it off nicely rather than having a big gaping hole down there. But I'm going to take a 2-minute break from doing this, and then see if we can get some cables sorted temporarily. But this setup is looking a lot better. Much better than having these stands sticking right up, taking up space. I mean, what looks better? This certainly does look better. They both need to be heightened a little more. I think what I'll do, the bezel sizes of the displays are different, so what I'll do is I'll match the top of the panel itself, so that one will be matched to there. As you can see, this one's got a bit of a thicker bezel, and then that one will be matched to there. So they will be up a little bit again, but for now, for the first throw up, they're not looking too bad at all. But yeah, I would rather it symmetrical. So guys, I'm getting there. This one is pretty much done. I did indeed open the accessories because I absolutely needed to. I needed the Allen key because I needed to tighten the arm, and also I've learned quite a little bit more about it. You need to use this other little bracket that comes in the packet to hold the arm up, otherwise it slowly moves down. That's like it's like a locking part of your like a cymbal stand on your drum kit. That's what I compare it to anyway, because it's very similar. But yeah, there's that to support it, and also I've put the top cap on the pole so nothing can fall down in there. And for now, that is pretty much complete. It's at the perfect height. With my eye angle, the menu bars do indeed line up, so that is cool. When you look at it from above, it looks too low. When you look at it from underneath, it looks too high, but that's natural because it's a smaller display, so obviously it's going to do that. I'm actually quite out of breath because I'm just getting ready to do this one. Put the other little bracket on, put the top piece in and slot it all in and whatnot. But I've lost the bloody packet. I've lost this. Oh God, I've just found it. Here it is. It was folded. I thought that was all one. Okay, here it is. I've found it again. Great. So I'll be slotting that on. And interestingly enough, guys, these are, I believe, spacers to go on the actual back of the monitor for the mount. And this will make the monitor come out enough to be able to sit flush to the pole as well. But if anything, my monitors are already sticking out too much, and even though this is probably the proper way to mount them, I won't be using this method at all. That's really not what I'm going to do, because the little test setup that I did before putting all the bits and pieces on worked really well. Just as another side note then, really quickly, this screen is still on VGA because I have a GT640 hooked up to my Mac Pro, well, in my Mac Pro I should say. So we've got HDMI, DVI, well, HDMI to DVI, same difference, DVI and VGA. So I do need a new video card for my Mac Pro, and it's not just because I want to run 3 DVI displays or, you know, 3 digital displays then and ditch VGA, because the VGA looks fine on a display this size, on this resolution. You know, it's absolutely fine, I don't mind at all. But I do see a bit of slowdown. I've edited a couple of videos on the triple setup now, and I am noticing a little bit of a slowdown, especially when zooming in and out. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the second monitor down here, and I am indeed going to mount that on that side. I've done all the spacing and that, as you guys have seen. So yeah, it's getting there. It's really getting there. Well folks, I am done for today's update. Let's just actually take a little step back. It's an absolute tip in here, but hopefully you guys can get an idea of how that looks. It looks bloody magnificent. I will get better lighting and everything to show it off really soon. We'll have a look in daylight. Of course, you know, I've still got a load of mess there and everything, but the basic setup is looking really good. Now let's chat about some issues, because we've always got issues. Issue number 1, my chair's broken. It's been broken for a long time, but it's finally popped out. So new chair will be just around the corner, hopefully. Issue number 2, after replugging in this monitor, it's refusing to go to its native resolution of 1680 by 1050. Instead, it's at 1280 by 768, and it's stretching it, and that's a pain in the neck. An absolute raging pain. There is an application you can download to change your resolutions. I can't remember what it's called, and I've got no energy to do it tonight, so I'm not going to do it tonight. But that's not a big problem anyway, because I just run iTunes there, and also on the other side I've got the calendar, so it's not too bad. I'm just going to leave those there for now. On the center screen, this is where the magic happens then, of course. It's just got my internet browser for now, and then on here we have mail and Twitter. So this will be my default way of looking at my screens probably. Now something really cool is I have my mic stand, and it still goes into a perfect position for vocal stuff, which is really cool. If you stretch it out fully and move this a little bit, you can get it into the center of the desk setup, which is nice. Maybe a little bit of a better position for that could be found, but it's on the corner and it's looking pretty good, and it gives it a nice bit of space to tuck away there. The lack of symmetry is kind of not bothering me, because the speaker hides this pole, which looks so cool. And this pole is kind of unnoticeable by the window there. All these cables and stuff have got to be sorted, obviously, guys. But yeah, my desk setup is nowhere near complete, but this is a massive, massive step forward. This was pretty much my big surprise that I wanted to show you guys, which was, you know, the fact that I was getting a third monitor, and I was using monitor stands for my original 2. So this setup right now is pretty damn beastly. It looks much more beastly in person. I can't really show it off that well on camera, but it is looking really good. It'll look better in daylight when I show it to you guys. As far as the rest of the stuff goes, it remains unchanged as far as the server shelf and everything goes. So I've got a lot more to do to this setup, and of course the LED lights and stuff are just all messed up down there amongst all the plug sockets and stuff that need to be sorted out. But I am currently working through my desk issues, because I made a video all about the issues with my desk, and I am probably about 2/3 of the way through sorting my desk out. One thing that I need to do as a finishing touch, icing on the cake, is to mount my eyesight to the new monitor, which can now be done pretty much, I think. But yeah, everything is all good. I'm very happy with it. Not sure if I'm keeping the speakers there. They're not placed perfectly, but yeah, like I keep saying, I am a really happy bunny, happy chappy. It's looking good. Really, really good. Just got a couple more hurdles to climb before the desk is complete. Probably won't be done by Christmas. It's about 2 weeks until Christmas as I'm recording this. You guys will probably be seeing it in about, well, I'm going away the day after tomorrow, so I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but obviously you'll definitely see it before Christmas. I assume that my setup will be complete by the end of January, something like that, because money is not an issue at the moment. I'm working my arse off and earning plenty to, you know, buy a couple of decent power surge protectors and some more Ethernet cables that I need and stuff. So as far as this setup goes, it's looking good. Like I may have said 3 or 4 times, I'm getting absolutely knackered now, guys, and I've got to pack for my trip away. So again, massive apologies for the messed up video schedule, but it's all for a good cause. All for a good cause, and everything is fine. A couple of people panic, naturally, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not quitting anything. And yeah, my setup, as I promised, is coming along nicely. So pleased. Would just be cool if I can get rid of that pole, somehow get it there, just so that one can be floating as well. I think that would look really cool. But other than that, I'm really happy. Huge thanks for watching, everyone. As always, please check out the links in the video description. I don't know when I'll see you next, but hopefully it'll be kind of soon, sometime-ish. If I don't see you over the next few days, have a great couple of days, and I will catch you in the next video. At the moment, I'm just in a little bit of a trance and I need a sort of 10-minute sit down, because every time I unbox a donation, I just can't believe that people over the internet are sending me things. Genuinely nice, lovely people are sending me this stuff because of what I do on YouTube. I can't even put it into words how it makes me feel. It's just absolutely astonishing.